I was curious. I know there was a case that went through, I believe, the Supreme Court about union dues, and if you had to pay union dues, even though you didn't really support where the dues money was going.
Yep.
And I was just trying to clear that up. So if you're in the union right now, can you legally not pay union dues and still, will they kick you out of the union, or how does that work?
So that case that you're talking about went to the United States Supreme Court. It was a very controversial case. It made a lot of people angry on the side that lost, but it basically had to do with requiring government workers to pay union dues, okay? And the Supreme Court said you can opt out of that. The thing that hasn't been decided yet is how do you make a person pay for benefits that they're receiving simply because they're a member of a group.
Union.
Yeah, that's right. That didn't apply to private companies. Now, I know that in Detroit, the auto capital of the world, the auto companies actually like the unions. They work with the unions. And they enforce the union dues, and unions have been very good for many years for lots of people, and they've helped create the middle class that the upper class now is trying to tear apart. So I still think if you're working for a private corporation that you're going to probably have to pay the union dues, but if you were a government worker, then the court says you don't have to do that. Does that answer your question for you, Scott?
Well, I work for a local municipality.
Then I think that case applies to you. I think that you can opt out of that. But you got to remember that for every person's actions, you're going to have some consequence. So I'm not certain that they're going to just recognize that Supreme Court case way down at that 2-foot level and let you out of that.
Yeah. Have you asked yet? Have anyone done it that you're aware of at your place?
No. Okay. We have. No one has done it.
Yeah.
But I was just curious, and then we're also there. They make us pay into some type of a retirement fund, which we have our own retirement fund through IMRF, and then there's another retirement fund through the local. But the retirement fund through the local has been losing money for probably the past 15 years, and we have no way to opt out of that. And I didn't know if there's some rules. Isn't there some investing rules that if the investor if you're negatively affected for so long that you are not obligated to have to pay into that?
I don't have enough information on that. Do you have an email, Scott?
I do.
Can you send me your question in more detail to askbrian@thelawshow.com?
Okay.
Could you do that?
Yes, sir.
All right.